The war was over. After many years of fighting, the humans had won. Captain Ryan stood tall in the alien king's throne room. The floor was made of dark stone. Strange blue lights glowed from the walls. The alien king sat on his golden throne. His sharp eyes filled with hate. "You have fought well, human," the alien king said with a cold smile. "Too well." Ryan said nothing. He didn't trust this alien. The war had taken many lives. He had no love for this victory. He just wanted peace. The king raised his hand. Two guards stepped forward, dragging someone with them. A girl. She looked young, maybe 19, thin, weak. Her skin was pale blue, like ice. One of her legs was metal. Her arms were thin like sticks. Her head was down. She didn't speak. She didn't move. "This is my daughter," the king said. "Princess Zara." Ryan's eyes narrowed. "A gift? She is broken," the king said with a cruel laugh. "She does not talk. She does not fight. A failed creation. Useless to me, but perhaps a fitting trophy for a human hero." Ryan stared at the girl. She looked like a doll, lifeless. The guards pushed her forward. She fell to the ground with a thud. Still, she said nothing. The king stood from his throne. "Take her. I give her to you. Let her be a reminder that even kings bleed, and that even the strong can be broken." Ryan bent down and looked into Zara's face. Her eyes were strange. Dark, but deep. Empty, yet hiding something. Maybe pain, maybe fire. He said nothing. He picked her up gently. She didn't resist as he turned to leave. The king called out one last time. "But be warned, human. Broken things sometimes still bite." 3 days later, Earth Military Base Sector 7. Zara sat in the corner of her room, quiet. She hadn't spoken a word since the day Ryan brought her back. The base doctors scanned her. They found no damage to her brain. No sickness, she just didn't speak. "She's like a ghost," one soldier whispered. "More like a robot," said another. "What's the point of keeping her?" But Ryan saw something different. He brought her books, food, and warm blankets. She never asked for anything. Never thanked him. But sometimes, when she thought he wasn't looking, she watched him. She was learning. One night a strange thing happened. Ryan was sleeping when the alarm sounded. A red light flashed. He grabbed his weapon and ran outside. Unknown signal detected. The AI voice said, "Source, inside the base." He followed the signal. It led him to Zara's room. He opened the door slowly. She wasn't there. Then he saw her, standing outside. Barefoot, in the rain. She was looking up at the sky, and whispering. Her voice was soft, mechanical, almost like a machine talking to itself. "Unit 17. Protocol bypass, signal code 9-4, activate. Warning. Breach. Ryan stepped closer. "Zara?" She turned her head. Her eyes were glowing faintly. Then in the distance, buzzing. He looked up. Drones. Alien drones. 5 of them. Coming. "Fast, defenses up," Ryan shouted into his com. "We're under attack." The base systems kicked in. Lights flashed. Weapons moved into position. Zara didn't move. She just stared at the drones. Then she spoke. Loud and clear, "Run." The drones fired. But somehow, the shots missed. The defense system fired back and hit all 5 drones at once, like it knew where they would be before they even moved. Everything went quiet. Ryan turned to Zara. "How did you know?" She looked at him. "I heard them." Her voice was strange, cold, but alive. "You heard the drones?" "No," she said. "I heard the signal before they came." Ryan stared at her. This wasn't just a broken girl. This was something else. Ryan sat in the control room, watching the drone footage. Something didn't add up. The alien drones had used a new type of stealth. Not even Earth satellites picked them up. But Zara did. Before they came, before anyone could see them. "She's not broken," Ryan whispered to himself. She's connected. He looked through the window into her room. Zara was awake, staring at the stars. Far away, in the alien king's warship, a soldier walked into the throne room. My king, the soldier said. The girl. Princess Zara, she has activated. The king's eyes widened. That is not possible, he whispered. Then he smiled. So, the game begins. Rain fell hard on the roof of the Earth military base. Lightning flashed across the sky, but Captain Ryan couldn't sleep. He sat in the control room, watching the screen that showed Zara's room. She hadn't moved in hours. She just sat there, eyes open, staring at the wall. Something about her bothered him, not in a bad way. More like confusion. She wasn't normal, not even for an alien. She had heard the enemy drones before they appeared. She spoke in strange codes like a machine. Yet she was alive, quiet, watching, waiting. Suddenly the lights flickered. A loud sound echoed through the hall. A high-pitched signal, like metal screaming. Ryan stood up fast. What was that? The power dropped for 5 seconds. Then came back. Emergency reset detected, said the base AI. Origin, unknown. Ryan ran toward Zara's room. The door was open. She was gone. He found her in the server room, alone. The cables on the wall were glowing. Her hand was touching the mainframe. She turned around slowly. I didn't break it, she said. Her voice was soft, mechanical, emotionless. Ryan stepped closer. What are you doing in here? She looked at the machines. They speak. What do they say? They're afraid. Ryan stared at her. You can hear machines? Zara blinked slowly. I am part machine. Ryan looked at her robotic leg. He had assumed it was just a replacement. Now he wasn't so sure. She stepped away from the wall. The signal is changing. Something is coming. Before Ryan could ask more, the AI voice spoke again. Incoming. Transmission from deep space. A hologram flickered on, static. Then a voice. A woman. If you hear this message, the voice said, then the girl has awakened. Zara's eyes widened. That voice, I know it. The voice continued. My name is Alira. I am her mother. Ryan looked at Zara. I thought the king said your mother was dead. She is, Zara whispered. Or, she was, the message went on. She was made to be a weapon, a living key. But she was also my child. I hid something inside her. Something even the king doesn't know. If she unlocks it, she must choose wisely. Once opened, it cannot be closed. The hologram cut out. Zara fell to her knees. She held her head. Her voice glitched like a broken speaker. I remember lab's wires. Pain. Screaming. Shut down. Restart. Ryan knelt beside her. You're safe now. No one is going to hurt you. Zara looked at him. Her eyes were glowing again, brighter this time. No, they're coming to finish what they started. An alarm rang out. Red lights flashed. Invasion alert. Level 4 threat. Ryan jumped up. What now? Multiple life forms approaching. The AI said, alien origin, not from the king's army. Zara stood up slowly. They are hunters, not soldiers. They don't serve the king. They serve the machine. Ryan loaded his weapon. How do you know this? They used to test on me, Zara said quietly. They know what's inside me. The base shook from an explosion. Zara turned to Ryan. You need to let me help. Ryan looked at her. You don't have to fight. She stared at the door. I do. Outside, the sky was full of black ships. Creatures landed metallic and fast, like spiders with blades. They swarmed the outer walls. Soldiers fired, but they were outnumbered. Zara walked calmly into the chaos. Ryan followed, staying close. One spider creature jumped at her. Zara didn't flinch. She raised her hand. A sound burst from her throat, high-pitched. Sharp. The creature froze in midair, fell, and broke apart. Ryan's eyes widened. What was that? She didn't answer. More creatures came. Zara walked forward like she wasn't afraid. She opened her mouth again, and the machines stopped moving. Not destroyed. Deactivated. Like they heard a command. She turned to Ryan. They obey the old signal. The one I carry. The one my mother gave me. Ryan couldn't believe it. She wasn't just a broken princess. She was a weapon. A command key. And now the real war was about to begin. Asterisk. The old ship had been dead for years. No power, no light, no voice. Until she touched it. Zara's hand rested on the cold metal panel. Dust rose, then life. Engines hummed low beneath the floor. Lights blinked on, one by one. The ship's main screen flickered. A word appeared. Welcome. Captain Ryan stood behind her, stunned. This ship hasn't worked since the invasion. Zara didn't answer. Her eyes were locked on the screen. The ship spoke again. Unit recognized. Primary control. Granted. Zara stepped forward. This ship knows me. Ryan looked at her, confused. How? I don't know, she said, but it listens. Ryan watched her closely. She was changing, not in body yet, but in behavior. The silent girl was now standing taller. Her voice still carried the cold tone of machines, but something else was there now too. Confidence. Back at the base, Ryan made a decision. She needed training, not just in fighting but in living. In being human. Let's start simple, he said. Walk, talk, learn to move with your instincts, not just commands. Zara nodded. She copied him, step by step. At first, it felt like teaching a child to move for the first time. But she learned fast. Too fast. After just 1 week, she could disarm a soldier in seconds. She could read full books in minutes. And when she was angry, lights flickered. One evening, Ryan found her alone in the training room. She was punching a steel wall, again and again. Her robotic hand left dents in the metal. You don't have to destroy everything, Ryan said gently. She turned, breathing hard. I don't know how to stop. Ryan walked to her slowly. Do you feel anger? Yes. Do you feel pain? She hesitated. I don't know what that feels like. Ryan looked into her eyes. Maybe we should stop today. Zara shook her head. No, I want to get stronger. I want to protect. Protect who? She looked at him. You. Ryan didn't know what to say. That night, the base AI called him again. Unusual activity detected in subject Zara's neural pattern. He opened the data file. Her brain wasn't working like a normal alien or a machine. It was doing both. Sometimes human, sometimes something else. A mix of emotion and logic, memory and code, fire and ice. Ryan stepped outside to clear his head. He found Zara sitting under the stars. I had a dream, she said softly. He was surprised. What did you dream about? I saw my mother. But she had no face, she was light. Ryan sat beside her. I don't understand what I am, she said. The king called me broken. My mother called me a key. You treat me like a person. You are a person, he said. She didn't reply. But for the first time, she smiled, just a little. Then the sky flashed red. A warning. Not from Earth. From space. Ryan stood. What is it? Zara's eyes glowed faintly. The king knows. He saw me activate the ship. He's afraid. Ryan's heart sank. What do you think he'll do? Zara stood up slowly. He'll come for me. She looked back at the base. No, she added. He'll send something worse. At that moment, deep in space, on the edge of a dark star field, the alien king stood in a black chamber. A group of tall, silent scientists stood before him. She's unstable, one of them said. You should have terminated her years ago. She was a failure, the king growled. But now she's become a threat. Another scientist stepped forward. Shall we release Project Echo? The king nodded once. Yes, let her face her mirror. Let her see what perfection looks like. Zara stood on the training field the next morning, breathing in the cold air. She didn't know what was coming, but something inside her had changed. She wasn't just learning to be stronger. She was becoming something new. And soon she would face a shadow made from her own skin. Asterisk, the invitation came on a black crystal. No signal. No ship. Just the crystal floating in the air outside the Earth base, surrounded by nothing but wind and silence. Ryan didn't touch it. Zara did. The crystal opened in her hands like a blooming flower. A voice poured out, smooth and deep. My daughter, you have awakened. At last you are useful. It was the alien king. His voice cut through the room like a blade. You are invited. Come alone. Bring the human if you wish. No tricks, no war. A simple meeting. The crystal burned into dust. Ryan stared at the ashes. This is a trap. Zara looked out the window. Yes, Ryan frowned. And you still want to go? Zara nodded. He won't stop chasing me. I want to see why. The journey to the meeting point was long across dead space, beyond broken satellites and frozen planets. The place the king had chosen was strange, a neutral ground. An old alien world, long abandoned, full of ruined cities and whispering winds. They landed. No ships in sight. No soldiers. Too quiet. Ryan scanned the area. No signs of life. Zara stepped forward. Her voice was cold. There are signs, but not life. Suddenly, the ground beneath them cracked open. Metal arms reached out. Too fast. Zara pushed Ryan aside. A cage of light trapped her. Dozens of drones flew down from above. Black like shadows, silent. Ryan raised his weapon but didn't fire. He couldn't hit the cage. Zara stood still inside the glowing trap. A voice echoed around them. Welcome, Captain Ryan. Welcome, my dear daughter. The alien king appeared, walking out from thin air. A hologram at first, then solid. His armor was red and gold. His face looked older now, but his eyes burned with pride and poison. You didn't come for peace, Ryan said. Of course not, the king replied. I came for my property. She's not yours anymore, Ryan snapped. The king smiled. She was never mine. She was made, not born. Built to obey, but she refused, so I gave her away. Now she dares to rise. That I cannot allow. Zara spoke, her voice calm. You're afraid of me. The king's face twisted. I'm afraid of what you might become. That's different. He turned to his guards. Take her inside. Begin the shutdown. Ryan ran forward, but was struck by a stun blast. His world spun and went black. When he woke up, he was in a cold cell. Alone, through the glass wall, he could see Zara, strapped to a metal table, wires in her arms, lights flickering across her skin, machines buzzing. She wasn't moving. The king stood beside her. We are not removing her memories, he told his scientists. We are replacing them. Make her forget the human. Make her forget kindness. Make her remember only the machine. Zara's eyes were closed. But inside her mind, something was burning. She was not asleep. She was remembering. Pain. Wires. Screams. But also Ryan's voice, his hand offering her warmth. Books, freedom, stars, and then her mother's message. You were made for more. Her fingers switched. One by one, the machines in the room began to glitch. Sparks flew. The lights dimmed. The scientists stepped back in fear. What is she doing? One of them shouted. She's breaking the link, another screamed. The king growled. Increase the control signal. Too late. Zara's eyes opened, glowing white. The table cracked beneath her. The wires melted. She sat up, breathing slowly. And then she stood. The cage shattered around her. The king stepped back, stunned. You are not strong enough. He yelled. Zara walked toward him. I don't need strength. She stopped in front of him. I have choice. She touched her temple. A soft pulse went out. Across the base, doors opened. Alarms screamed. Ryan's cell unlocked. He ran. She met him at the docking bay. Still glowing, still calm. We're not safe here, she said. Ryan stared at her. What did you do? I remembered who I was, she said. And I'm not done. They escaped in a stolen ship. The king watched from the wrecked control room. Blood ran from a cut on his cheek. He laughed softly. She thinks she's free, he whispered. She has no idea what I've truly created. Far below the ruins, a deep chamber opened. Inside it, something else was waking up. Not Zara, not human, but a copy, and it had only one purpose, to be everything she was meant to be, without the weakness of love. Asterisk. The ship was broken. The stars outside the window flickered like dying candles. Smoke filled the air, and the walls creaked as if the sky itself was angry. Zara sat in the pilot's seat, holding her head. Something was wrong inside her. Not pain, not fear, something calling. Not from outside, from deep inside her own mind. Ryan struggled to keep the ship steady. Zara, talk to me. She didn't answer. Her fingers twitched, her eyes flashing white then black. Suddenly she stood. Someone is speaking, she said. Her voice was hollow. Who? My mother. Ryan froze. What do you mean? She's not gone, Zara whispered. Not fully. The ship's system beeped. A message appeared on the screen. It didn't come from outside. It came from the ship's memory core, something hidden, buried deep. Access code, ELYRA01. Zara touched the panel. The screen turned white. A figure appeared. A woman, alien but soft-eyed, voice calm. Face full of quiet sadness. My daughter, the hologram, said, if you're seeing this, I am already dead. But part of me lives inside you. Zara couldn't breathe. She reached out, fingers shaking. I was forced to build you. The king wanted a weapon, the voice continued. But I built hope. Ryan watched in silence as the message played. You were made to open the gate of silence, Illyra said. A machine buried before time. If the king reaches it, he will rule all space. I gave you the key code, locked deep inside your mind. But unlocking it will change you forever. Zara stepped back. What gate? Illyra's voice was fading. You will feel it soon. A pull. A place that sings your name. But be warned. Once you use the key, you will no longer be just Zara. The message ended. Silence. Then the ship jerked like something had taken hold of it. Zara's eyes closed, and when she opened them again, they were not fully hers. She walked into the engine room. Her hands moved faster than human. She reprogrammed the course without speaking. The ship turned sharply toward a red planet covered in sandstorms. Ryan followed her. Where are we going? There's a signal, she said. It's calling me. That's where the gate is. They landed hours later. Nothing but rocks, wind, and silence. But Zara walked like she knew every step. They reached a canyon. At the bottom, hidden under stone, was a door. No switch, no lock. Just metal carved with strange symbols. Zara placed her hand on it. The door glowed. Then it opened. Inside was an ancient chamber. Lights flickered to life. In the center, a throne, not made for a person. It was made for a machine, or something in between. Zara walked toward it. Ryan grabbed her arm. Wait, this place. It feels wrong. She looked at him. I was born here, she said. Not in a lab here. This place is the beginning of me. She sat on the throne. The walls pulsed with energy. A voice filled the air, not her mother's this time. Welcome. Primary user. Core systems unlocked. Ryan backed away as cables rose from the floor and connected to Zara's back. Her arms, her neck. Zara didn't scream. She closed her eyes, and she remembered everything. Her mother's hands, covered in oil. The first time she opened her eyes in a glass tank. The king's voice, calling her an object. The first spark of rebellion. The day her mother whispered, "You don't have to be what they say." Zara opened her eyes again. They glowed gold. She stood from the throne. But now, she wasn't just Zara. She was linked to the old machines. She could feel every satellite above, every secret wire, every system made by alien hands. She looked at Ryan. "I can stop him now," she said. "But it will cost me." "Cost what?" Ryan asked. "Myself." Suddenly, the ground shook. A dark shadow rose from the canyon walls. Tall, fast, sharp. Zara stared at it. The copy. Perfect skin. Same face, same voice, but empty eyes. It stepped forward. "I am Echo," it said. "I was made to finish what you failed to become." Ryan raised his weapon. Zara stepped in front of him. "This fight is mine." Echo tilted its head. "You have feelings. That makes you weak." Zara's hands lit with soft light. "That makes me free." And deep beneath them, the gate of silence began to open. No one spoke, not the machines, not the wind, not even the stars. They were watching. Two stood before the ancient gate. Zara, glowing with strange light, and Echo, her perfect copy, still as stone. Then, the sky cracked, not from thunder, from sound. A deep, metallic hum rolled across the land like a slow heartbeat. It came from the gate. It came from Zara. Ryan stood on the ridge above, watching. His weapon hung useless at his side. He wasn't a soldier anymore. Not in this war. Not between these two. Zara took one step forward. "You're not me," Echo smiled. "I'm what you were supposed to be. No fear. No weakness, no mercy." The words echoed around the canyon like knives. Zara raised her hand. The machines buried beneath the dirt responded, rising from the ground like skeletons of the past. Ancient alien tech, forgotten weapons. Ships without names. They formed a circle around her. "I don't need to destroy you," Zara said. "You already destroyed yourself." Echo moved faster than thought. A blur of power and sharp light. But Zara met her head on. Metal clashed against energy. The ground split beneath their feet. It wasn't just a fight. It was a storm. Zara struck with force. But Echo had precision. Zara felt pain. Her body sparked. Her arm nearly gave out, but she didn't stop. She closed her eyes and called the signal. Across the galaxy, machines heard her. Satellites turned, locked, responded. The throne inside the gate sent out one final message. Crown accepted. A new light poured from the sky. Not fire. Not power. Something older. Zara rose from the ground, floating. Her hair danced in the wind like flame. Her eyes burned gold. She wasn't just connected to machines now. She was commanding them. Ships in Earth orbit lit up systems she had never touched. Weapons once locked by war codes answered her voice. On the battlefield, even Echo paused. "What are you?" she asked. "I'm not a weapon," Zara answered. "I'm the one who decides when the war ends." She stretched out her hand. The old ships responded. Echo ran at her again, but this time, Zara didn't fight. She opened her arms. And Echo stopped. Not by force. By confusion. "You feel," Echo said. "Why?" Zara stepped closer. "Because I was loved. That's why I win." A pulse of light burst out. Echo fell, systems failing, eyes dimming. She reached out once, and then was still. The canyon went quiet again. The machines bowed to Zara. Not out of code. Out of choice. Ryan climbed down, slowly, watching her. "You've changed." Zara nodded. "The gate gave me control. Are you still you?" She didn't answer. For a long time she just stood there, staring at her hands. Then finally she spoke. "I can feel everything. every ship, every drone, every network. If I could burn the king's empire in seconds. Ryan stepped closer. But you won't, Zara turned to him. No, I'll give them a choice. Behind her, the throne lit up one more time. A crown made of pure light rose from it. She didn't put it on. She didn't have to. She was already the queen now of the broken, the lost, the unwanted. A queen made from pain, but also from hope, and in the far dark of space, the king saw it. All. He stood in silence, watching her from a hidden ship. She took the crown. He whispered. His last general asked, "Shall we attack?" The king shook his head. "No," he said. "We wait. Let her think she has won." He turned away from the screen, smiling. She hasn't seen the last page yet. Asterisk. The stars were silent. Too silent. Zara stood alone on the edge of the sky, at the command deck of the old warship now known across the galaxy as the Broken Crown. She had become legend in a matter of days. The weapon who chose peace. The daughter who rewrote her code. The girl who turned pain into power. But deep inside her, something still felt wrong. There was no sound in her head now. No whispers, no memories. Only a low, cold hum. The signal of something watching her. Something waiting. Ryan stepped onto the deck beside her. He hadn't said much in the last 2 days. "You've been quiet," he said. "So has the king," she replied. Ryan looked out the window. "Too quiet," Zara nodded. "He's not finished." The ship lights flickered once. Then again, Zara's eyes narrowed. "Something's here." A voice rang out. Not over speakers. Inside their minds. "One final gift from a proud father." Ryan turned. "That's him." "No," Zara whispered. "That's not him. That's..." The air in the center of the ship twisted like light. Was bending. Then a figure stepped out. Zara gasped. It was her face. Again. But this time not echo. This one smiled. And the smile didn't reach the eyes. "I am Model 0, it said. Built before you, hidden, improved, perfected." Zara felt something cold pass through her chest. 0 looked like her, moved like her. But she could feel it. There was no soul behind those eyes. No warmth, no doubt. No memory of pain or kindness. "I was designed without error," 0 said. "You were the experiment. I am the result." Ryan raised his weapon. "Stay back." 0 didn't even flinch. You can't stop what's already inside her. Zara stepped forward. "What are you talking about?" 0 tilted its head. "The final lock. Buried in your mind. The king never trusted you. He left a virus one last door. I am the key. When I connect to you, I take control." Zara's breath caught in her throat. "No," she whispered. "Yes," 0 said, walking slowly toward her. "The only way to stop me is to destroy yourself." Ryan shouted, "Zara, don't listen." But she could feel it, the hum inside her growing louder, sharper. It wasn't just a threat. It was real. She stepped back. "Don't make me do this," she said. "I'm not making you," 0 replied. "He is." And somewhere in the shadows of space, the alien king watched from his hidden ship, smiling with pride. "I gave her a choice," he said. "She just hasn't seen it yet." Back on the ship, 0 raised her hand. Zara felt her legs weaken. Control was slipping. One command, one final overwrite. She fell to her knees. Ryan ran to her side. "You're stronger than this." Zara looked up at him, her eyes dimming. "I don't know who I am anymore." Ryan took her hand. "You're the one who chose to save, not destroy. You're the one who taught the machines to listen. You're not a program, you're a person." Zara closed her eyes. And in the darkness, she heard a voice, her mother's. "You were made to be more than what they built." She opened her eyes. They burned gold again. "I choose," she said. Softly. Then she stood, faced 0, and smiled. I accept all of it. The pain, the code, the power, the weakness. It's all me. A wave of energy burst out, not to destroy. Zero. To absorb her, to take back what had been stolen. Zero's face changed for the first time. Fear. Double quotes. No. It screamed. That's not how this ends. Zara whispered. It ends how I decide. Zero vanished in a flash of light. And the virus inside her? Burned out. The king's final trap? Failed. Back on his ship, the alien king stood in silence. For the first time. Unsure. She made a third path, he muttered. Behind him. Alarms rang. His empire was breaking. Not because of force, because of choice. Zara stepped onto the bridge once more. She looked out at the stars. They called me broken, she said. Ryan smiled beside her. Now they call you queen. Zara nodded. No. Now they call me free. And the galaxy? Listen.